Hello students, welcome once again. So I am here today with part 2 of Ranga's marriage. The narrator says he starts the story, he is going to narrate a story which happened some 10 years ago. Okay? And what is the story about? How he starts the story? He says that 10 years ago, English was not a very common language as we find it to be these days. It was a language which was known by very few people, used by very few people, and another thing was not very common, that was sending children to other cities, big cities, metro cities for higher education. Nowadays you had most children, once they complete their higher secondary, they move out of the town and go to other cities to pursue their further studies. But the setup of this story is the time when this thing was not very common. Okay? This thing was not very common. Sending children to other cities was a very rare thing. Very few people could think of doing it. But in the village Huzahali, the village accountant of the village was, you can say, a very progressive man, was a very modern man, modern in his thought, and that's why he sent his son for further studies to the city of Bangalore. Ranga stayed in Bangalore for 6 months, and after 6 months, when the story starts, he has returned from Bangalore. Okay? Now for the people of the village, it was something very new, very uncommon. They thought that since Ranga was away from the village for 6 months, he has come back from a very big city, so several changes must have occurred in Ranga. So just as people gather around at a place when they hear about the arrival of a celebrity, in the same manner, when people heard that Ranga has returned to his village, many people in the morning gathered outside his house to have a view, a glimpse of Ranga. You understand? They just gathered outside his house to have a view of Ranga. So when narrator saw that people were gathering outside the house of Ranga, so narrator also followed the group, and he also went over there at outside Ranga's house. Now before I proceed further with what happened after that, I want to tell one thing, that in the story we have seen, as you will read the story, you will find that narrator was not a man who is very, you can say, considers English language to be something very important, and is of the view that English language must be known by all. Okay, that was his view. Rather, he thinks that the way these days children, they use English language so frequently in their conversation is not to his liking. Okay, that is one thing that he has shared in the story. Well, now let's come back. So people had gathered outside Ranga's house. Narrator also followed them to see what the matter was, and when Ranga came out of his house, he was obviously feeling very awkward seeing so many people outside the house, and the people felt very relieved. You can say, if relief is not the right word, we can say the people were rather surprised. The people who had gathered, the villagers, who had gathered outside Ranga's house had expected to see a great change in Ranga's appearance, in Ranga's attitude. But surprisingly, they did not find any such change. Ranga looked the same as he looked before, the same person he was, with the same smile, same behavior. One old lady, she went towards Ranga to see whether Ranga was wearing the Janevara. Janevara is Janau, sacred thread. Okay, the sacred thread that Brahmins wear. It's a ceremony takes place in every Brahmin family to make that sacred thread, and then the boy is made to wear that sacred thread. That is Janevara or Janau, what we call in common word. So an elderly woman, an old woman, she went near Ranga to see whether Ranga was still wearing the Janevara or not. And she was very pleased to see that Ranga was still wearing it. So she said that Ranga was still wearing the Janevara, and that Ranga was still the old boy that he was. There was hardly any change in him. So after getting confirmed that Ranga had not changed at all, the crowd gradually shifted away. The crowd gradually moved away from the front of his house. Only one man remained standing. Who was this man? The narrator. Everyone left, but narrator remained standing. When the crowd had left and narrator was standing all alone over there, Ranga saw him. Ranga came towards him, asked how he was, and touched his feet. Understood? Touched his feet means he bent down and touched his feet. He did not just fold his hands and did a namaskara. Now, as you read the story, you will be able to understand that narrator was a bit, you can say, conservative minded, orthodox kind of a person. So this particular gesture of Ranga bending down and touching his feet was liked by him a lot. He admired Ranga. That even after being away from the village for 6 months, Ranga had not forgotten the tradition, the practices of his village. He was very happy to see it. Okay? So Ranga touched his feet, and they exchanged a few pleasantries. They asked each other how it was, how everything was going on, and then the narrator left for his house. Okay, student, this much only in part 2.